Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Late Night Bmore. I'm your host, Basile. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful, the man, the myth, the legend, Travis Davis. And sitting in for Young Hemp, a special guest. He will become a frequent guest of the show. He's known as Gary Parks, a.k.a. Mr. Gary. Everyone, welcome. Gary Parks. How you doing, Gary?
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here. So let's start things off here with a story that I didn't think was real, but it turns out that it is a real thing going on in our society.
Did y'all see that news story going on up in Virginia where hundreds of parents have been turning over their children to the state, calling it voluntary termination of parental rights? It's crazy how growing up in the 80s, our parents didn't have that option, especially in the Black community. Did we have disciplinary issues? Yes, we did. We were not perfect children. But to rise to the level where these parents are feeling like they got to turn their kids over to the state, where for so long that they were not teaching these children values, right from wrong, wasn't sitting down with them and made sure that they knew basic life skills, how to tie their shoe, how to put their clothes on properly, how to brush their teeth. They don't have no concept of right and wrong. They have no level of self-accountability, right? Because you just grew them up. You just let them, grow, but you wasn't teaching them and instilling no values in them.
So, in the state of Virginia, termination of parental rights under the law. So voluntary termination of parental rights. In some cases, a parent might recognize his or her own inability to properly care for a child, or may recognize that another person or family member can better provide for the child. And he or she may make the painful decision to voluntarily terminate his or her right to custody so that the child may be adopted. In some states, there is a grace period following the voluntary termination in which a parent can revoke his or her consent to an adoption. Now, first hearing this story, I thought it was a joke. I thought that, let me take a step back. I know adoption exists. People at the hospital have that option. Women have that option. Families have that option. Hey, I can't care for this child, so I'm going to give it up for adoption. Yeah, surrogates or whatever the case may be. Now you're basically saying that when I'm raising this kid, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. It's too much. It's too much for me. And my question, in particular to you, Mr. Parks, someone who has children, hearing this, did you ever imagine a point to where adults now are basically giving up on their kids?
I've seen it happen 1,000 times. It just make me question, what is the relationship like with the father? Normally when you have these cases, whether it's male or female, a lot of time the children act out because they want attention or they want to know why the other parent is not there. In most cases, I hate to say it, people don't want to be honest, but there's a lot of people who had one-night stands and the person told them, hey, this is a one-night stand, and they proceeded to carry out to have a child. There's a lot of women who probably been told by men, I'm not ready to be a father, I'm not going to be a father, and having a child trying to convince them, it didn't work out. So yeah, in most cases, like I said, I've seen it 1,000 times. For the most part, both parents are incapable of raising a child. You're talking about drug addiction and so forth. So the state take them over, and normally it's a package deal depending on how many kids it is. But somebody just to volunteer, if, like I said, once again, we don't know the situation from a lot of these people. I'm quite sure a lot of them probably have multiple fathers. Some of them probably don't. It probably varies, man. But at the end of the day, them children going there, for some, it could be a rescue. For some, ain't no telling. But yeah, I'm not shocked by this. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. It's just it's more popular now. You're starting to see it through social media. And I'm quite sure for this next generation, mainly, like she said, don't nobody want to teach. You have to be a teacher. You have to be a nurturer, and a lot of them are so concentrated on themselves and their lives and trying to figure things out. Now that their children here is nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone wants to have a kid, but nobody wants to be a parent.
Yes. Not only that, some people just think by having a child, they're gonna, well, when I get a child, I'm gonna feel love. You know, some people, we're constantly chasing something like, what's the next thing? All right, you know what? Well, I'm gonna confine in this child, and this child's gonna give me everything I wanted. When it comes to love, and you have a child and boom, the child turned 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you're still missing that feeling, so you gonna have another one. And then the new child is causing you to neglect the child that you already had. It's like you just keep chasing something.
So living vicariously through your child.
Yeah, or you're using children as a form of fixing you since you're incomplete when it comes to happiness. You think by having children is going to make you happy. And you're not taking the whole thing in consideration by bringing another life into the world, knowing, you know, there's responsibilities and obligations you have to take care of now. A lot of women don't understand. A lot of women give up their careers, their goals, a lot of things. When it comes to children, that's a whole nother topic. But for the most part, when you have them, you just don't have the liberty to get up and go around the corner no more. You know, you need a support system. A lot of people do not have that. And for the ones who do, they burn them out. You know, your parents not raising your children, that's your job. Now, if you need help, you need a break mentally, then, hey, we'll watch them, but it's not our responsibility.
Right.
It's yours. It's your child.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes down to our demographics having children at a younger age and then being of the mindset to whereas instead of, like you said, wanting to teach or raise our children, they want to be their children's friend. Oh, with social media, I think it has that demographic of parents. Like when you got grandmothers in their 30s now, you know what I mean? 30s and 40s, it's like, wow. And then they're trying to keep up with the times. So
Yeah, they still outside.
Yeah, still outside and, you know, making these types of moves. It's, especially when it comes to them trying to stay in the know, and there is that limited level of unfulfillment that goes with it to where they still want to accomplish goals and not be in a position to raise child. So this thing to where you can voluntarily surrender your children, you know, I just remember like back in the olden days, it was put them in a basket, put them on a church step or something like that and hope that the church can, I guess, care for them now. But it's crazy. They also have these boxes now to where
the fire department.
Yeah, the fire
Just
department
come
to where
in.
you can put them in a safe box and things like that. So the access for people to do this now with infants, it is mind blowing. And I just think there needs to be services to help raise children as far as like community centers and daycares and things like that. We, you know, I think a lot of just here in Baltimore alone, there was so many state-funded programs when it came to like casinos and stuff. Oh, we're going to give youth programs and do this and do that, and then
It never happened.
where's that money gone?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just it is concerning when you see this level of social norms change when it comes to raising children and the ability to surrender them.
On the flip side of that, there's a movement going on with no contact with their parents. And I feel as though, one, this with parenting that they can't do it anymore, so they're handing it over. But then now you have children who can't deal with their parents anymore, so they just completely avoid them, no contact. And majority of the stories that I've seen with the children is, you know, I tried to make it work with the parent. I did everything I could. It wasn't just like one day I woke up, I'm like, yeah, I'm not talking to my parent. Like, and it's an accumulation of things that happen. And then from there, then it was like, okay, I can't talk to this parent anymore. My parent will not see their grandchildren. They will not see me. If there's any family event or function, I will not be there. If you're going to be there, and that's going on. And I think right now we're on extremes of the pendulum. Like there's no happy medium going on, no balance. And I'm trying to figure out how and where did this start?
And it's funny you said that because a child who acts like that could easily be a child in this particular situation where you give me up and then I become an adult and I figure things out and I get my life together. And now I don't want to be around you.
Right.
Because you gave me up and yet there's other siblings that you probably kept. You see what I'm saying? A lot of the people who I talk to from day to day, especially older people who don't want to deal with their parents, whether it's male or female, a lot of times it's hard to confront them about issues that was traumatizing. Because everybody want to quote unquote be, oh, I was the best parent ever and I did my job. And now here you are explaining them things as you was growing up, and they try to deflect it. They don't want to take accountability. And so now we got to keep brushing this stuff under the rug that was very traumatizing as a child growing up, and I refuse to do that, let alone I refuse to allow you to skip past me and then try to make up for it raising my kids. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we deal with that a lot, especially in our community, man. It's very crazy. But I feel like this is why we need more mentors. You know, when a parent is going through too much, the family don't want to get involved, the child father don't want to get involved, then maybe we should have mentors to help guide them in the right direction, which in some cases it works only depending upon how open the parent is going to be. Because one thing I notice is when you're helping somebody with their child, believe it or not, when it's time for you to do things in your hands, they try to take it back.
Right. You seen that video of the I don't even know if he was a stepdad or just a boyfriend. He took the kid to go get a haircut. Oh. And then the dude showed up and was cussing him out and creating a scene.
Oh, the real father?
Yeah, the real father showed up.
Yeah.
And he was like, who are you to take my child to go get a haircut?
Your boy.
Should I say our boy?
That ain't our shit. That's my motherfucking son.
World Star.
That's my motherfucking son. You don't got no business. Take me to the barbershop. I told you that. I told you that shit.
Fight back.
I told you that shit. I told you that shit. I told you that shit. It's your first time.
Hey, let me go ahead and call his mama real quick and we go ahead and get to the bottom of it.
All right, you go ahead and you do that. And she better say the right shit, because if she don't, I'm about to get you swinging.
That's tough.
And it's like,
that's tough, bro.
Like,
that's tough, bro.
But to be ready to fight him, though, that was crazy. He was ready to fight.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, if I'm in a situation where I assert myself or I'm dating a woman who has a child, and whether the father is absent or he's in and out, I have to take in consideration what I'm getting involved in. And this is one of the primary reasons why a lot of men don't date women who have children, because you get in these type of situations. It's not that you're a horrible person and things like that. It's just a simple fact of, if I'm a man and I know what I'm bringing to the table, I want less stress as possible. And so now that I know that you do have a child, and I know that comes with the package, me being involved in this child life, doing everything that I can, where the father is in and out, it's going to cause chaos. Like, prime example, a lot of men not ready for these type of conversations as it pertains to, what if you are raising a child and the father is not active, and then when it's time for the child to marry, she said, I want my father to walk me down the aisle, not you.
right. Right.
Like, somebody would take that personal.
Right.
Or get upset.
Yeah.
This man wasn't here
Right.
the whole time.
But tell me why my stepdaughter proceeds to stand up and announce that her real daddy is giving her away at the wedding. What? The wedding that I'm paying for, that in my house, the daddy don't do nothing for you, is giving you away?
But once again, we don't talk about these conversations enough. We're talking about 50-50 and all this other stuff.
Right.
We're not talking
I am the table.
Yeah, we're not talking about the real issues when it comes to these things. If I am a stepfather or a boyfriend or whatever, and I'm dealing with one as a child, and you give me the child, I take the child to get a haircut, at this point, I'm responsible. So I don't know the back history with you and the father. I don't know everything that you all have been through, but I really just can't get a child up to the father because, it's on my watch. Like, I got to bring this child back to the mother. So God forbid something happened, then here I am, guilty conscious, couldn't avoid. But like I said, those are very touchy topics. You get what I'm saying? Because as a father, it's like, you're not finna deny me my child, bro.
Right.
I'm taking my child.
Right.
So those situations is one of those things where you don't know what you would have did unless you was in it. But it's very tough to actually be in, and it requires a great level of patience.
And to that point, here we go. You women that are watching this, you be in those situations. Oh, I found him. But you don't say anything to the father at all. he has to find out that, oh, she's seeing somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, the son is spending time with this dude. Well, who's this dude?
Yeah.
That causes the tension right then and there. Not only do the men need to have conversations, you need to have the damn conversation. Yeah. I know it's accountability. I know, kryptonite. I know. But in order, the child's life is what matters at this point in time. Like yours can get better, yeah, but you had your chance. Okay, you had it. But I think it's incumbent upon women as well in those situations. You two need to have that conversation. Hey, I'm seeing somebody.
Yeah.
This is what he's doing for our child because you don't want to do it. But I'm just letting you know don't cause any trouble. Now, how that goes, I don't know. But I still think, it can't just be the guy coming into the situation who has to be the one to step up and start these conversations.
It's crazy because when it comes to co-parenting, everything is fine until you start dating. And then it's not just dating, it's who you dating. So prime example, you have women who do tell guys, hey, I'm seeing somebody else. And that father might be like, okay, cool. And just being a male, he going to choke his ego and try to look the other guy up and try to find out who the guy is. Now, if the guy's not a threat, you're not really concerned. You don't care. But when he's a threat, then it's like, and I'm speaking because I done been in these situations where as though I'm talking to somebody, baby mother, and it's like, oh, and then they see me, it's like, oh, damn. Wait a minute. Like, how you get this guy right here, man? Like, hold on, wait a minute.
Right.
Now I feel some type of way. Because see, if it was the little short dude who looked ugly, then I don't care about him.
Right.
I'm not checking for him. But this guy, it's like, hold on, wait a minute. You got my son around here, you got my daughter around here, I feel some type of way.
Right.
Because I'm comparing him to me, and it's like, oh, like he's doing well off. So I feel some type of way. So sometimes it be the not letting go. And a lot of times, that's the thing, like whether it's male or female, sometimes the other party don't let the other person go. And so you're just keeping tabs on them to see. That's like your exes. They still gonna follow you on Instagram.
Right.
Fake pages and all that, because they want to make sure they didn't make the wrong mistake.
Right.
So let me stalk his page every now and again to make sure he's doing good, because, I know how I'm doing. I might not like how I'm doing, and then boom, oh my God, look at it, he's a millionaire now.
Right.
What?
Right.
I left that like, oh my God, I regret this guy that I'm with. I don't like him. Like I had that. Oh my God, he did all that. That's crazy. So yeah, they stop. And then when you get in the situation, then yeah, all hell break loose.
Sidebar, Dr. Umar posed that question on the, I forget what the podcast was called, but would a woman wait 2 years, invest in the guy till he got to the point of where she thought he needed to be, success-wise? So,
what woman thought Umar?
It was particularly to black women.
Who?
The black women, because he was saying that white women would see a guy with potential.
A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years later, he's a millionaire, and the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
It's kind of twofold. I ain't even gonna hold you, because there have been women, black women, who have done that.
Oh,
and shit ain't go right.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna help this dude get on top,
and then they leave.
And what it comes down to is, in some cases, it's the male. Like, there's a lot of males who have a hard time just getting women in general, let alone having sex. It's very hard to conquer a woman's body. A lot of people think it's easy. It is not. Now, some people use money and materialistic things, but at the end of the day, unless you got a certain aura about you, they already got in their mind who they're going to have sex with. So I'm saying that to say in some cases, as it pertains to that, man, put it this way. Women have done that, got the guy to where he needed to be, and the guy started getting access to different type of women. So now the women that we see on Instagram or at celebrity events or certain celebrities, he probably would never had any contact with those type of people. But now that he's in a position financially and he has resources, it's going to put him in different rooms. And so for them, it's like, we're not doing that because we did that and y'all turn around and get the woman anyway. So I'm not doing that. So I understand it's you know, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
But there are good men women have seen that they know for a fact he is for you, and yet they're not doing it because society is teaching them something different. And I tell women this all the time, and men, we're at a place right now in society that they'll put so much stuff on us when it comes to consuming that it causes you to hate your life. Like, you deserve that bigger job. You deserve that big house, or, you know, you deserve an extra
the
10,000.
entitlement.
Yeah, but also you keep being in these type of situations, it causes you to neglect everything that you have. You see what I'm saying? So like, for somebody who got a car that's paid off that can save money, it's like, well, why don't just get the Tesla truck? Why? Why? So people can stop me every time I'm driving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so that's the same thing with women, like, and guys. Like, we find ourselves through the social media, we always fail to realize there is a process to everything, and we want it right now. And for some women, you know, and for some guys too as well, everybody fall in love with the victory, not the process of fighting to get to the victory. Like, there's certain things that you're not going to accomplish until you're going through a certain enough test, I believe, so that way when you get the blessing, it's not a curse. Mm-hmm. You know how many women say, oh man, I want a car in the house. They got a car in the house and they miserable. It wasn't the car in the house. You got those things, you still not happy.
Something deeper.
So it's something deeper. I just, you know how many people prayed like, oh, I can't wait till I make $4,000 a month. I just need to make Now you're making $4,000 a month and it's a problem.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now I need to make 10,000. It's not going to be the 10,000. So it's eternal stuff that we go through that we don't never face, and we bring it in relationships. We bring it through our day to day, and in some cases, like I said, this is one of the main ones because this is what society is pushing, like as if you're not going to go through things. Everybody's not going to be a millionaire overnight. It's a process. For guys, for some of us, it's when you get in your like 40s, late 40s, 50s, 60s, because you've been through enough life experiences. You know how to deal with people. You know how important it is to tell people no instead of yes, because your yes could be very expensive. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? So like, you got to go through these things, but social media push all this stuff on us. So it's like, don't nobody want to work together as a team. We're in competition with one another.
And I think that brings it back to this story regarding kids. I think that's the aspect that's been taken out of parenting. It's a team effort.
It's a team
effort.
effort.
Relationships, parenting is a team effort. And I think that if you get to a point, there may be a lot of circumstances and a lot of factors that, you know, will make that parenting situation hard and detrimental. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you have to be accountable and not put yourself in that position. And I think that that's people are willing to do things and thinking that the consequences aren't going to be as bad as they are. And then when they are, they get upset. Like, how could this have happened?
Yeah.
Well, you made that decision.
Yeah.
So, and you could have prevented it from jump. But you decided not to because, again, you got that immediate satisfaction. You're in the moment and you thought, this is great right now. But what about afterwards?
Delusional.
Yeah. What about afterwards?
This man has 3 different baby mamas. You the 4th. You thought he was going to change?
Right.
He wasn't taking care of the other kids.
Right.
He chose that as if your thing that good and gushy. Like, I'm just going to change. Bro, it didn't change. But this is what's going on. These are some of the cases though.
Right.
Like, you're having kids by people, and that's what we need to tell people. Like, man, it is very, especially if you're listening, man, all the people that's listening out, it is very important, especially as men and women. The 2 important decisions you're gonna make in your life is who you had kids by, who you marry. That is very important. That don't get talked about enough. And this is why we are in some of these situations. You got people who enjoy sex so much that children came from out of that when it shouldn't have been.
Right.
It should have been, I hit you, you hit me, whatever, you know, whatever. Now we having kids, and now the kids are here. And for the ones who are not like that, there are some women who look good and some men who look good. They have no idea, no clue, and when it comes to teaching, and like she said, instead of growing, people just think, okay, like you said, I'm gonna feed you. We're gonna take snipe pictures on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I'm gonna make sure you got the fly stuff on. Not teaching these kids nothing.
Nothing.
No.
They don't know nothing.
And I think it also comes down to, like we've been saying here, the accountability of our actions and then communication. Being able to communicate, but then it also comes to the content and social media and things we're absorbing. Now that I'm thinking about how we're talking right now, if you look at all the shows back in the day, Family Matters, Fresh Prince, Good Times, it was all the core family. No matter what they went through, they would have these, even the what was it? Oh my gosh, I can't think. Gary Coleman, the adopted family.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, even Will Smith, her situation with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he got adopted.
Yeah,
that for sure. Different strokes, goodness gracious. But yeah, even adoptive situations, you know what I mean? It showed at the end of the day, no matter what our differences or circumstances, there was accountability, tough conversations, and communication. And I think that's just a foundation of where we need to get back to when it comes to the norms.
People don't like confrontation face to face, but digitally, oh yeah, I got something for you.
That's what sells.
F you, Gary. F you.
That's what sells. Though.
Yeah.
Negativity always sells. Something positive, don't nobody want to hear.
It's a sad thing. But we're going to take our first break, and then when we get back, we'll continue the show. Thank you for watching.
Can I be honest?
Yeah, sure.
I want to do it out here. Out in the open.
You're not worried someone might see us?
That's the fun part. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience? It's like you're in a dream, but your senses are turned all the way up. When I do it out here, I can see myself clearly. Nothing will happen if I don't want it to. And then when I come, don't stop. I think there's this person watching. She came out of my body.
I'm not trying to mess with you here, but there is no one out there. I promise.
Sex robots and AI girlfriends. It is changing the way the youth is being molded, and for men that ain't getting none, you know what I mean? Everybody's engaging with their sexual desires on a different level, especially with the advancements on technology on an overall level. So I'm very curious as your guys, opinions when it comes to these new innovations of sex.
First time I heard of a sex robot was probably maybe 10 years ago, and it was this video, and a bunch of people, I was in graduate school, sent me this video because I knew I was studying sex. And it was, I don't know if either of you, Jamie, has seen this video, but it went viral, and it was this early version of a sex robot, but it was like the silicone face with a wig. And I'll say she was eating a banana, but she wasn't actually eating a banana. And it was basically like this head attached to a broomstick and had a sheet over it. And so you couldn't see the rest of the robot. You just saw the face of it. But then the manufacturer shows you it's just like a broomstick. So what I thought was interesting is that even though it looks so hilariously bad, that there was obviously a market for it because so many people were interested in looking at this video, and also that people were buying this product. When I think of social media, the internet, AI, like you said, is becoming so mainstream and so ubiquitous. What's going to happen when we have these robots that are now being integrated into human life? And what happens when the technology does get so good that they are more human-like and they are able to meet people's emotional needs and maybe even physical needs? What's going to happen to us then?
It's quite funny hearing the conversation because so many movies are made about this in particular, and you think, oh, it's just a movie. And then now it's getting to a point where it's like, oh, this is a documentary. And it is getting to a point like, oh, this is actually happening. So, like, for example, Japan, I think, has been at the frontier of a lot of the sex robot industry. Yeah. Japan has a lot of like crazy stuff. I mean, you can buy panties in a vending machine, I believe. I don't know if that's still like a thing, but I know that you can do that. A lot of their anime, some of the stuff that we see mainstream, some of the stuff that is not well seen, has some questionable things in there. And pertaining to the sex robot thing, I know that over there, that's a big push. And, you know, it's only gotten better. And, you know, you see those dolls, like you see how like Tesla and all them showing these robots, and you're like, Boston Dynamics shows their robots. And it's like, oh, yeah, you know, oh, wow, it's going to take our jobs. And then now when they showcase, you know, some of these sex dolls, you're like, oh, man.
Lifelike. It's like Madame Tussauds come to life.
Yeah. So, you know, women will say, oh, guys, you're losers for wanting to be to have something like that. It's like, well, you guys have your sex toys and don't say a damn thing. You know, we don't criticize you about it. You'll get the dolls with the, you know, the big member and all that stuff and have that in the closet. But, you know, that's fine. But it regarding this, it says a lot of things. I think a point of emphasis with the no breeding thing, Japan, back to Japan again, has that thing where their population is actually going down, and they're trying to promote foreigners to come in to help bring the population back again. I forget the statistic that was saying, I believe like 60% of men are single.
Yeah.
And this time it was 2023, 24, but regardless, they're high percentage of men, you know, very introverted, don't talk to women, etc.
You have to pay. I have to pay a woman to get her, and then when I got to continue with these payments. And then if I run out of money, she's gone. And I hate to say it like that, but like a lot of guys, that's why a lot of brothers are becoming introverts or single. For some guys, I just want peace. I don't care. I'd rather play video games, make my money, hang out with the guys. It's simple. What you find out of happiness, bro? Me just being around the guys, kicking it, laughing with people I truly care about. It's just that simple. Or going fishing or playing video. It's not that hard, right? When it comes to dating and when you're talking to guys, all right, man, if you see a nice girl, you approach her, guess what you got to worry about? If you're in the gym, you're a stalker now.
Right.
Yep. You get so many labels. If you don't talk to her, oh, you gay or you sassy.
Yeah.
So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Damn if you don't.
Being a guy trying to date when women are saying they want you to make 100 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Really. And when you see these women who say these things, half of them are not even there.
It's more than half.
Yeah, but it's crazy, right? And then they don't want to go 50 and 50. So like it leaves you in a situation where some guys like, man, I'd rather keep my peace, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm chilling, man.
On top of that, not just keep their peace, but you got a lot of guys that wouldn't like even go to the thought of doing like a pocket pussy or something like that. I'll stick to my porno, you know, and I'll do that type of thing and get my nut, and then I'm back to playing games and doing things with the guys. But now when you start integrating artificial intelligence with these type of things, not only do you have somebody that's going to start knowing your habits and algorithms on an intimate level, then you're going to put this into a robot that I can interact with and have control on an on and off basis with, to where not only can I be intimate with this thing that's giving me my sexual satisfaction, now I can do that and then still isolate and go back to where I am. So it's very scary when it comes to, I think women need to be afraid of these certain
I'm about to say women.
Yeah.
Because I think for guys, it won't, I think for men, because a lot of men are becoming aware now, bro, I would just get a plane ticket to go to Colombia, Medellin, and spend $40, and I'm going to get somebody who look like Rihanna.
Yeah.
And if I'm bold enough, I would bring one of them back. $125 for the whole day.
Yep. Chilling all day.
I hate to say it that way, but there are some countries I feel like people will go instead of getting down. Like sex toys just lets me know the level of perversion that's on us, that's bad. Like that's how far we have gone as a people in general. And the reason why I'm concerned with women, because women, for the most part, this would be their thing. Because they just hate men. They just hate us for some reason. So this would be their way of just getting rid of us. You know what? I'm going to have the robot eat this. I'm going to have the robot do this. I'm fine. Because like you said, they fine with their toys. Some of them, they fine with their toys, man. It sounds like a barbershop.
Yeah.
11:30 at night.
Hey, you know what's funny is that when you're mentioning the travel part, the expatting is taking off, huge thing. And the arguments that Western women majority of the time make is these men are going to these third world countries.
Yes.
Where these women can't speak a lick of English, don't have an education. Lets me know how uneducated you are. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Do you think all those people are stupid? And have you ever been to these other countries? A lot of these countries that we say third world, if you go there compared to the US, they're ahead of us.
Yeah.
So healthcare system, you can pay $500 and get a whole assessment done. There's people now who, if they are diagnosed with cancer, will leave and go to the Philippines or go to India or go somewhere else, get their treatment done.
Yeah.
Because there's no waiting. And then you're paying maybe $1,500, $2,000. Okay, that's better than paying 20 grand for one treatment, and I can get the whole thing done and taken care of right then and there. Oh man, who's going to beat that?
And you paying for insurance here, and there's a possibility you still might
get denied.
Yep. But that's why I guess I didn't want to bring up CEOs getting taken out over stuff. You know what I mean? We just had a CEO get taken out for the health insurance thing. Who knows what that was about? But just to rewind it and bring it back to this country, for the young men that don't have the means to go outside of this country that are stuck with, like, not only is it the AI robots, but you have to also have these AI IG pages. You got guys on these AI pages that are, like introverted, they're gamers, but then they see AI pages, they're commenting on AI profiles.
Right. Take a look at some of the comments, bro. Look at this man. Love, you're everything in a woman. A good man would marry you and keep you happy for life. He better not be a boring man, because I can tell you ain't the one that likes sitting in no house. You're looking for adventure and happiness. That makes great memories. Sir, she's not real. What are you talking about?
And just seeing the fact that they're engaging with these AI profiles, you have very, very young men doing that. And then the OF money these girls are getting and not showing anything.
Not only that, the OnlyFans women that are using AI, they take their voice and use that like, oh, I'll be your boyfriend, download my app. Mm-hmm. And then so now they're using AI that will copy their voice to make it seem personalized that, hey, I'm having this conversation with you, Travis, or with Gary, and it's really me.
Yeah.
Tricks the guy's mind psychologically, like, oh man, this person really is for me. Knowing that, they should know, but I mean, knowing damn well that it's just an AI robot that's copied that person's voice and utilizing that. Yep. I mean, these OnlyFans girls, depending on if they're on the top 1%, they have a whole team. You think you're direct messaging that model? No, you're direct messaging worker number 3, who's in their shift during that day.
But in their mind,
that's them.
And
that's
for them, that's fine, because a lot of people rather believe a lie instead of the truth.
Yeah.
And for some of those guys, it's unfortunate. They just lack confidence. They don't know how to talk to women. Mm-hmm. If you talk to women and just play it cool, it's not like being in a courtroom. I mean, shit, all you gotta do is listen. To be honest with you, they're gonna tell you everything.
Right.
But a lot of them lack confidence, and a lot of them have a hard time talking to women. And so, and then they feel like they're unnoticed, they unseen. They walk through life every day, nobody notice them. Nobody give them a compliment. It's just like they not existing.
To that point, when it comes to these young men engaging in these, I heard a story not that long ago. A young man was engaging with the AI girlfriend thing. Like, I've been getting random ads for the AI girlfriend or talk thing or whatever. And this mother, long story short, this young man was engaging with the AI. He self-deleted. And then his mom went through his AI chat history and saw things to where he was having ideations with the AI chat. And she said something along the lines of, come be with me. So that's the scary part for me, is to where you do have these young men that are lonely, sexually frustrated, going through this sexual maturity, but then not, like you said, not knowing how to talk to women, not knowing how to express that sometimes to their parents, you know what I mean? Or somebody close to them. And then they're dealing with these AI engagement tools that is giving them, that is enticing them, to do things like self-deletion. Maybe or maybe not. I have to do a little bit more research on this story, but just the fact that a computer or a program could understand you on such a level to where it could potentially influence the youth or somebody to that degree. That's the part where it gets scary for me, to where the up and coming generations weren't exposed to engaging with the opposite sex like we were.
I got a question for the both of you. Back to the parenting part. How does the conversation of sex need to be done with kids, especially today? Social media now, I can open up my phone, and I've been guilty of it. Some things that I see, it gets sent in a thing. All of a sudden, the algorithm's like, oh, this is what you like? Well, here you go. And it's like, hold on. I don't want to see all these ass and titties.
It's impossible.
All there. But you can't avoid it. And somehow that's deemed okay. That's the terms of service, and there's no violation there. But if you say something about, whatever, we're going to have to delete your page, whatever. Okay, that's fine. All right, fine. But I say that to say, how does a parent go about having a conversation of sex with the child and help them as far as they're going through their sexual maturity, understanding what sex is, what intimacy is? Because if you look on social media, especially if they allow their kids on social media, they're seeing that early and quick. Yeah. And that's where they're getting their education from. Yeah. So how do you go about teaching a child or having that conversation? Because parents, I don't think that conversation is, it's hard for couples to have that conversation. How do you have that conversation now if you're a child that you're trying to help prevent to fall victim to that?
I'm raw with mine, so I'm sorry. I can't speak for everybody else. I instantly say, hey, you got a girlfriend? You got a boyfriend? Do you like boys? Do you like girls? Somebody touch your dick? Somebody touch your vagina? I'm going in because I ask these questions and people be like, yo, something is wrong with you. It is. It truly is. It's this world. So you got to ask these questions. Yeah. And believe it or not, you have to have these conversations because these kids, they're watching it on TV, on YouTube, TikTok. So you in your head thinking, okay, well, maybe they don't know. They don't. Trust me, they know. This is a sidebar. I was, oh God. There was a situation. There was a situation where somebody dear to me was in a situation where her daughter, she found out her daughter was eating pussy in school. The young girl.
Cunnilingus.
Yeah, the young girl, she was doing things as if she'd been here before.
What grade?
She's in high school.
Okay.
She's in high school. The parent reached out to the other parent, and his reaction was kind of crazy because she just sent the video.
What?
Yeah. So she sent the video to the father. The father got a hold of it.
Was there context like, hey, by the way, I'm sending you this, or was it just a text saying,
it was one of the,
here's the video.
Situation, here go a video, I'm sending you the video, and I'm waiting for you to call me back.
What? First of all, so time out. First of all,
there we go.
First of all,
so the father called back. Yeah, the father called back like, what the fuck is, homosexual shit you sent me, and who these two bitches getting down like this? Unfortunately, one of the bitches was his daughter. So, that was quite interesting, right? God forgive me, Lord help me. I mean, what I'm saying is, as a parent, you got to have these conversations. You got to figure out what it is, because the sex is getting pushed whether you like it or not. You listen to these rappers, the Sexy Red of the world, the Gorillas. Yes, these kids are saying lyrics, and once again, we can't blame the artist, right? The artist is going to be the artist. As parents, you have to teach them right from wrong, right? When that's not happening, these kids are very promiscuous. They're learning from the last generation that was before them, and then things are getting out of control. So yes, you want to have that conversation. Hey, when you have sex, you should have sex protected, not unprotected. If you're going to be doing this, you need to be mindful. You can catch this. You can't get rid of this. Or you can have a child. Can't get rid of the child. Like, those conversations I had.
Women today said you can.
Well, in some places now, because, Florida, past 6 weeks, ain't no abortion. So unless you flying out of Florida going somewhere else. Like, so yeah, it's getting to the place now where we go back to you really have to be responsible, knowing, hey, look, if I'm gonna have a child, then it has to be from this particular individual or whatever. Like, you just can't be out here randomly just casually having sex, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. But we done got accustomed to the raw. That you got people out here getting voices left and right, like they on the kill streak on Call of Duty. Like, yo, you gotta calm down. Like, you gotta chill out, man. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think I was right on. We were right at that age of the internet, the turn of the internet. So my thing was, sex ed was still a thing in school. Like, we looked at the chart, we looked at the tube. Teacher said this, and then I went home, and then my mom, like, you know, and my dad, you know, this is what a condom is. This is what you do with this or whatever. And it was like, oh, okay, because like, I remember it's so weird, but the first sex scene I saw was in The Color Purple with Danny Glover when he was like rocking the bed. That was one scene. And then when Forrest Gump, as the principal came over to his mom's house, and he walked in, like, your mama show us something. He's like, I'm like, Mom, what's he talking about? Is he retarded or special? Like, what's he doing? She's like, well, Travis, this is what was going on.
What happened?
So there were mature things that I was experiencing that my parents correlated with, okay, he's in middle school, he's in sex ed, he knows this. Okay, this is what was happening in there, Travis. And then they explained it to me with life experiences that I was having. But also, it was at the same time, I was a very inquisitive, curious child. I would ask questions about everything. So they naturally knew, oh, he's thinking about this, let's talk to him. But I think on a parent's part, you have to be aware that your children are exposed to it without telling you, and then going down the rabbit hole of having those discussions. But like you said, it's just, you got to have the discussions, be it raw or filtered, however you want to do it. It's going to be tough, like going back to the whole giving up your child thing. Accountability, tough conversations, communication.
Back to the AI, I think, again, we've discussed a lot of spaces for men. I also think, too, I watch a lot of Theo Vaughn stuff. He has a lot of psychiatrists and come in and discussing about everything. I think that also plays a huge factor in it too. That you're looking at it so much that you're like, oh, I gotta have it.
You mean corn?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Algorithm. Corn. And when you see that stuff, you know, there's one, it's something that's not discussed, like as far as people, how many people watch it. There's some people who are, you know, don't care to let people know, like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. I know this certain corn star or whatever the case may be. And oh yeah, like I remember there's a video of a guy who would just look at pictures and he would name all the corn stars off of just the picture. Like he would know, like, oh, that's such and such arm. Oh, I know that's such and such ear. I'm like, okay, I know that's too much time, bro. That's too much time. So, you know, one, I believe that we need to fix something as far as like men need to understand that one, that's one thing that's not real. That's not how real sex goes. As much as people might go on podcasts and say all these things like, I want him to do this to me and that
it's an addiction.
It's an addiction. And I think that too, well, to continue along that's the part that like it grows. So you start with porn, then you start with corn, then you start doing like sexual deviation stuff. And then from there, now you're going to this now AI robot stuff. So now it's like, okay, I'm not secure enough to address this issue, but I don't need to now because now I have this inanimate object that I can just do my deviations with, and then I'm not going to have to worry. It's not going to be a problem. However, studies have shown that from addiction to whatever accumulates later on can lead to stuff. Your interactions with the public can fall detrimental to that. I think even what's his name, Jeffrey Dahmer, serial killer, in an interview, had said if he never watched porn, I think he would be a serial killer. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, but porn does play
corn.
I know, right?
You got the ADR cut this all
up.
I know,
right? But it does play a big part, especially for men. And I think that men should, one, don't be ashamed at the fact that you do look at it, men and women. It's an addiction that, one, you can overcome, and two, it's much more common than you think. There are applications out there that you can get on, the communities out there that you can get on. You just have to look for them. But I also think too that we need to have a society that allows that space as what's that wicked holding space to where you can have those conversations with people, and then you can work things out to where you can overcome those issues and everything in society. And I think once we allow that space and conversations to be had and held, I think that then we can move forward. And as a society, particularly for men, we can start focusing on things that's actually helped us get men be men, and go from there.
Just going to piggyback, man. You'll be amazed how many women watch it. While they at work, bored, like, because I'm around women all day, and so they just like us, but worse. So when I tell you, like, they actually and the crazy part is there are some people who could do some of those things in real life. And when you find them, that's where the problem come in and lie, because here you are in a good relationship and your girlfriend can't do any of those moves. She's not doing that. She don't know how to arch her back. She's not. And so you want her to act like these people that you're visualizing, that you're watching, and it's the same thing with women, the same thing. I want you to hang me, and like, well, what? If you look at our back, if you look at our history, you think hanging was like
right.
You want to get hung? Like,
right? Are
you serious? Like,
and some of that's a fetish. I didn't know that was a thing.
It is. But yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's going to take a very mature crowd to actually have that conversation, because the moment you get a bunch of women in a room with men and they start finding out, oh, you watch porn too? That's like an easy one. It's like, oh, okay, what you doing tonight?
Right.
Want a sandwich?
Right.
You like,
well, since freak offs are the norm now,
right.
you know.
Right. I got the baby oil.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
you know, in life sometimes it's things that you need to hear instead of want to hear that's going to help you move forward. And that's what Gary's here to do on this segment of Gary's Corner.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm here. I'm here because a lot of us, we live in delusion. Like one of my clients who I love so dearly, who stated to me she wants to look like Cuban Link and she's 320 pounds. I'm confused as hell because I'm trying to figure out why would she show me this image of this girl she wants to look like, weighing 320 pounds, knowing damn well she would never in her life look like this girl. And it may seem harsh, and, you know, as a personal trainer, you know, people may say, hey, you're supposed to build people up and you're supposed to encourage them and, you know, they paying you for a service. Fuck all that. I got to tell this shit how it is. Otherwise, I'm lying to you, and I'm not going to lie to you. And if you're watching this, then you know I told you. And I'm going to tell you again, along with these other people, you're never going to look like this fucking girl. Okay? You're never going to look like her. If you died 3 times and came back, you're not going to look like this woman. I am sorry. All right? Let's just get out of, let's stop trying to look like everybody else. And let's look like ourselves. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Because the expectations are not even real. And it makes me wonder, like, why would you even think you can achieve something like this? Has the world gone mad? Are we giving people false expectations where people are walking around every day thinking, like, who the fuck wake up and say, I want to look like Brad Pitt? Like, is that even possible? Like, first of all, you and this woman are 2 different complexions when it comes to skin tone. And I said, you're 320. Yes, baby, you will never look like this woman. I could drop 130 pounds off your motherfucking ass. You're not going to look like this goddamn woman. You're not. You're not. A lot of times, this is the problem when it comes to new people joining the gym and saying they want to like him or her. You come in with these unrealistic expectations, and then it kills you because you've been carrying fat for mostly all of your life. You've been 320. And now you're showing me an image of a girl who walks around probably 165, if that, 170, and is beautiful and has no fat and no nothing. And you think I'm going to help you achieve that in 3 months. Are you out your fucking mind? Are you fucking serious right now? 3 months, I'm going to help you look like Cuban Girl. And if anybody don't know who is Cuban Girl, the Cuban Link, this is 50 Cent ex-girlfriend. And if you've seen her, I wouldn't even show you my client. You think I'm being an asshole, but no. Baby, you will never look like this girl. So let's look like the best version of you. Let's get this fat off, and let's see what happens as we continue to come down and stay consistent in what we have going on. But for the most part, once again, I keep telling people, you know, some goals and things like that are very unrealistic. And you guys that keep looking at people and saying, you don't know who has got work done. You don't know who's taking what. So stop, you know, I get it. Like, you want to emulate something that's cool, but let's just, you know, if you would have gave me Lizzo, I feel like I would have had some shit to work with. You gave me Cuban Link. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy. Like, it's just, like, really, like, I'm you know, I'm concerned because, you know, I'm trying to figure out who have you shown this to outside of me, and how many people told you, yes, girl, that's right, friend. Get it, friend. You can look like her. Yeah. And I'm trying to tell you, no, like, it's not happening. It's not happening. So yes, you know, when you first start working out, you want to be realistic in everything that you're doing. You don't want to overcomplicate things, you know, trying to figure out how many times you're going to eat this and do this or whatever. Find somebody, find a coach, sit down, tell them your fitness goals, and let them walk you through everything. So that way you don't have to overcomplicate things. All right. You got people working out 3, 4, 5 days out the week. It's becoming unbearable. You got people who've been working out for 2 months and they're looking for this big old like change and, you know, these drastic results when it comes to before and after. And ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't work that way. If you've been fat for a long period of time, this is going to be a journey. This is going to be a while. This is not no overnight type of thing. I don't know who's lying to you. You know, these guys are lying to you. The fucking Herbalife guys and take this pill and Ozempic. Some of you all are taking Ozempic. You see how you look? You look fucking deflated. Like a fucking basketball that's flat with no air. You taking this shit and it's not working out for you. Your face is sinking in. Your skin is sagging. And you steady taking it. And you still look hungry. Like, this, stop the nonsense, man. It's discipline. Oh, Gary, you know, I need something to control me because I can't stop eating. And I get it. A lot of people eat out of emotions and, you know, it's a lot. But what the fuck is going on in your life that'll make you take down fucking 3 sandwiches from fucking Subway, a box of chicken from Royal Farms, and then a bowl of cereal? Who has made you lose your mind so fucking much that you eat all of those at one setting? That is fucking ridiculous. We have to do better, people. We need discipline. We need coaching. You need somebody that's going to tell you the truth, like myself, and somebody that's not going to lie to you. A lot of us been lied to. You're not going to look like these people. Some people is not going to be a 3-month thing. Some of you all are a long project. And the moment we realize this and be honest with ourselves, then we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Hopefully.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Late Night Bmore. Really appreciate your time. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to comment down below on your favorite segment and topic and share your thoughts. We read the comments, so please, please do be involved. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.